There have been many dark chapters in history, moments so cruel, so haunting, that they leave a scar on humanity itself. Today, I am going to tell you one such story, a story of innocent lives lost. Hundreds of men, women, even children and infants, slaughtered without mercy. A story that shook a nation and was avenged in cold silence 2 decades later. Let's go back in time to British-ruled India, 1919. India at that time was under the iron grip of British colonial rule. The British had one goal: to drain India's wealth and ship it back to Britain. They imposed heavy taxes, looted palaces and temples, which held centuries of gold, silver, and sacred treasures, and passed harsh, unjust laws. The country was boiling with anger. Revolutionary movements were rising from all corners. Voices of freedom were growing louder. So they tried to crush anyone who stood up to them. April 10, 1919, Amritsar, Punjab. 2 respected nationalist leaders, Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu and Dr. Satyapal, were arrested for opposing the Rowlatt Act, a law that allowed the British to imprison Indians without trial. Their arrest sparked massive protests. People gathered peacefully to protest. The atmosphere in Amritsar was tense, but not violent. April 13, 1919. On this day, over 15,000 men, women, and children had gathered peacefully inside Jallianwala Bagh, a walled public garden near the Golden Temple. They had come to protest the arrests and to listen to speeches against British oppression. Many were families, mothers holding infants, elderly people resting under the sun, children playing in the dust. They were unarmed. They were peaceful. They didn't know that death was coming. Without warning, General Reginald Edward Harry Dyer marched into the garden with 50 soldiers, blocked the only narrow exit, and ordered fire. No warning, no attempt to disperse the crowd, just bullets. For 10 minutes straight, the soldiers fired 1,650 rounds into the trapped crowd. There was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Children were shot while clinging to their mothers. Women died shielding their babies. People jumped into the well inside the garden, trying to escape the bullets, but died drowning. The official British count said 379 were killed, but Indian estimates say over 1,000 people were massacred that day. And why? Because they dared to gather, because they dared to speak. Later, Dyer defended his actions. He said it was necessary to teach Indians a lesson. He even boasted he would have used machine guns if he could. And the British Parliament? They praised him. They honored him. They rewarded a murderer. General Dyer died in 1927, years after the massacre. But the real mastermind behind the orders, Governor Michael O'Dwyer, was still alive. This was not just a massacre. It was infanticide, genocide, a crime against humanity. But history never forgets. March 13, 1940, London. Exactly 21 years later, a man named Udham Singh, who had survived the massacre as a child, walked into Caxton Hall in London. There stood Michael O'Dwyer, the former Lieutenant Governor of Punjab, who had endorsed Dyer's actions. Udham Singh raised his revolver and with 6 shots of silent fury, ended the life of the man who bled Amritsar. He did not run. He did not resist. He stood tall and surrendered. Before being hanged by the British, Udham Singh said, "I am not afraid to die. I am proud to die for my country. I am proud that I am the one to punish that butcher." Years later, in 2019, marking the 100th anniversary of the massacre, British Prime Minister Theresa May expressed deep regret for what happened in Jallianwala Bagh. But let's be honest, no words can erase the bloodstains of that garden. No apology can bring back the children, the mothers, the innocents who never returned home. Jallianwala Bagh is not just a place, it's a reminder that freedom has a price, and India paid for it with blood.